everybody, and welcome back to our channel. So as you know, me and my sister have been doing this channel together. Now of course she has gone off back to college. I am still where we were. So I'm going to be doing a lot of the main channel stuff, but I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get her hooked up with some good video camera to at least get some voiceovers or just record for gameplay, but just try to get something between the two of us. So what I'm going to show you today is, as you can see, I'm working on a build right now. So what my original idea with this was some sort of castle build. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to make it a smaller castle build, which you're going to see I struggle a lot with because, you know, you think castles, you think big, you think lots of towers, lots of roofs, you think lots of cool things. All I ended up doing was just the main structure. Now if you want to see any like landscaping or anything, let me know in the comments below and I'll go back and do that. But for now it was pretty much just the main building portion of it. As I said, I wanted to make it more of a budget castle structure. It took a lot to figure out these roofs. I don't know why. I've just never used them before. I've never had the need for them. For some reason I just couldn't get it right. But then they finally looked okay. And then I was doing a lot of looking at the other houses around and these houses here. So like you can see the goth house and that other like more modern mansion sort of thing. And I couldn't quite figure out how I wanted to do mine. At this point I'm actually looking up pictures of some medieval castles to see how they did their roofs. That's when I realized I tried to do some more flat thing. And then I kept going back and forth between the flat and the actual roof and just like making the roof look fancy. And then I realized that I needed more walls and more texture, I guess, to the build, you know, so it's not just a giant block of house. But I finally do start to work it around, figure out how I want it to look. I was also having trouble with some of the color schemes. I know I wanted the medieval, like, stone structure, but I wasn't sure how to get a really, you know, perfect old stone, but it's a light stone, it's not a super dark stone. Struggling a lot with that, especially when you start adding in floors, and railings, and stairs, and nothing matches. Nothing! There's a bunch of other fancy stuff I wanted to add, and it just never really could match it well enough to make it worthwhile. And then these columns, I really wanted big fancy columns. As I'm sure you guys have noticed, if you have, I only have about like half the total packs. There's 2 game packs and most of the stuff packs that I don't have. And at some point I really want to get those, but until then this is all I got. And I know there's got to be something better that I want in those stuff packs, but for now, no. I was thinking it'd be cool in this little section that I had for texture to have the chimney, but as you can tell that didn't work either. I wanted it 3 bricks wide, but there wasn't a good chimney that was that wide. So, you know, if Elspeth were here, we'd be having some good banter, and I wouldn't just be like, okay, I'm still building. Still building a building. You're gonna see I'm gonna go back and forth on a ton of stuff. So I liked more of the wooden feel of some things, but I wanted stone for others. And there wasn't any good stone railing. Like the railings themselves are very hard to find something good in. The fencing too was limited options. So I had to just go with something that kind of worked. But then I ended up going back again and redoing it all at the end. And you'll see there what I'm talking about. When I do builds, I normally find a general shell, or I'll even take somebody else's build and I'll like take out the house and like build another house, or have a super basic house. I'm really trying to challenge myself, since I have nothing better to do, to have some of these more cool builds, and I thought this was probably the coolest one I've had, and even then it's still pretty basic. I thought that looked pretty good, but it wasn't as castle as I was hoping. Even still, I feel like it could have been more castle. I think my roof might have been too high, the main roof. And every time I tried to place something up top, like you'll see in the towers, I end up in columns. And every time I'm trying to get the right angle, you know how like it jumps when you're, you know, shifted all the way up to the top floor, but then you're like going back down to the ground, and then you scooch the mouse a little and you go back up. Oh, it's killing me. Could not make it work. The interface is trying to be so smart and it's wrong. Don't appreciate it. So this was the point where I realized that this fence that I was using was just too tall. Way too tall. So I ended up switching it out for those half walls, which I think are probably actually one of my new best friends, especially for something like this where fences like that in a castle aren't really a thing. It really is more half walls. And I wanted to make the tower literally like a tower, but I didn't want all of these tower things to be towers, if you know what I mean. So I figured one would be, you'd have to climb all the way up, and the other I'd be nice and put a door at the top. This is when I realized that my white columns were way too modern and I needed something else. And this is where I'm talking about that, like every time I tried to put one, the angles just kept getting all weird. Up and down, and up and down. And I just saw a video about that mod for the camera and extending the build catalog and everything, and I downloaded all, but I think I did something wrong because I couldn't actually use any of them. All of his, I put them in my mods folder and they're at the top, so like I don't know what I did wrong, but they're not even coming up in game. You know, that list lists all your active mods. Didn't even come up there, so I have no idea what I did. I'm normally quite good with mods. Taught my sister how to mod. I mod Skyrim all the time, so I don't know what I did. If you've got any suggestions, feel free to leave those down below as well. Maybe I can figure it out. So at this point, I definitely thought I was going to actually also furnish the entire house. I was like, yes, I know this is bathroom, so I'll start there. And then as soon as I did that, I realized I had no idea what I was going to do with the rest of the castle. You know, it was just small enough that like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was thinking of making a throne room, so you see me trying to put like an extra height thing to it. Wasn't working. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll just have some thrones and then make it purple themed, and literally that was the last that I put any furniture in. I tried a library. That wasn't looking good either. I think the layout for this castle is really cool, but I don't think I'm the one capable of actually decorating it. So, Elspeth, when you see this video, that's your challenge. We'll get you set up so that you can record and everything, but your challenge is to decorate this. Now, if you want to add extra walls on the inside, that's fine. But the main structure, nothing can change. We'll see how you do. I couldn't get the stairs right either. I really wanted a nice, like, curly staircase. You remember in Sims 3, those spiral staircases? Man, I wish we had those. It's the next thing I want Sims to add in. Yay, come on. Loved those. I'm glad we have the ladders back, but I love those spiral staircases. They were still a nice way to have a cool staircase without it being a ladder or taking up a crap ton of room. And then see, more half walls. Half walls were brilliant. And this is pretty much where I'm just making the last couple touches that I tried to do. Figured the little nook there, I was like, that's a great base for a bench. I really wanted like an ottoman, but I couldn't find the kind of ottoman I was hoping to find. Replacing more half walls because apparently those are my new I knew Dynamite. They're my thing. And then I realized I forgot Windows. I had actually uploaded that build and then randomly realized I forgot the Windows. So I had to go back in and add those. And there wasn't, again, it was with there was nothing quite right. I was a big fan of Sims Medieval when they had it. I kind of wish they would have had Sims Medieval with like Sims 3 type gameplay to it, because I really loved Sims 3. The way it was all open world and everything. So the way the buildings worked in Sims Medieval got kind of annoying to me. But you know, it was still fun. And I love everything medieval. I go to the Renaissance Festival all the time. Maybe I'll make a video about that next year when they actually have it. But it's super fun. So I uploaded Medieval Castle. You can find it under She Hunter, which is my personal account. I don't have one for this. There you go. So Elspeth, that's your challenge.